It's great to see you. If I rule the world, yeah, there'd be a lot of rich people. No one would be broke. We all would have everything we need. If I rule the world, yes, make sure you rule your own. Who's in charge? It's so good to see you. Let me see if I can get your chest up. Get your chest up. Okay. Let's see. All right. I think I got it right. Got Miss Davis. She's always on time. Always on time. Yes, I appreciate you. Everybody's just trying to go on a trip real quick before the government shuts down. They don't want to have them long lines. That's what it is. That's where y'all were. Better sit down because you're going to have to wait a while. Might as well watch the show and talk to me. Yeah, if the government shuts down, you're going to have some long lines. They're going to try to make those TSA people work with, you're going to get the paycheck soon. I mean, but kind of, that's kind of not really a good threat because everybody works with a paycheck coming up. They're not getting paid every day that they work. So they're going to probably start off the month like every other month, right? But if I ruled the world, there'd be no people showing off in the government so they could get our undivided attention and act like, we're supposed to be scared because they're going to shut it down. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. But just make sure they hold their check too, holding everybody else's checks. You're not so vital. If you can't come to a resolution, then we don't need you. We'll just get another group. Maybe they can agree. That's what we should do. We really should. Make sure you take advantage of the opportunity to even call me if you have a question. I'm going to put that in there. 1-844 JB Bryan. No excuses. No excuses. It don't cost you a dime to get your questions answered. The first question you should ask is, what am I losing by not being a member of AfroEconomics? Every day I talk to people who tell me about mistakes that they made or a family member made that they wouldn't have made, and I'm talking about from their investments, from their employee benefits, from their 401k to their 457, to their TSP, to their health insurance choices, to their car insurance choices, to their homeowners insurance, to their renters insurance, to all of these different financial decisions, to if they should have refinanced or if they hadn't, which debts should they pay off first, which ones they should. These are the advantages that AfroEconomics members get. And repeatedly, I see millions of people who don't even take advantage of the free videos. They don't even subscribe to the YouTube channel. I've been hard at work for us for 30 years, and I'm still trying to get 3,000 free YouTube subscribers. Wow, over a 30-year period. I need 2 more tonight. Let's see if we can do that. Just so that we can show to the rest of the world that we care about Afroeconomics, that we care about Black wealth development. Let's just do that. Like the example that was set. And over, I hear about things that people are doing that if we were united, we could take care of, like healthcare, incentives, what is it called? Initiatives, initiatives. That's funny. Create a word. Why not? But there's healthcare initiatives that are being, research that needs to be done that's on Black health. And our 10th principle of Afroeconomics is Black health, Black wealth. There's just people that need to have a backup. Like there have been members of Afroeconomics that have gone through financial crises that the members of Afroeconomics have gotten together and made sure that they got their needs met and helped. Like, but could we still continue to go out there alone? That is something that we really need to pray about, because I'm convinced that everything that we need, God already provides. And I'm talking about that support that members provided to one another, not even knowing if it was a free member or if it was a paying member, or if they had $1 million or they had $5. They don't know. Yeah. Ms. Davis said that we're family, and that's what we do. Exactly. No, I think we need to like change like what we think that Black wealth looks like. No, we need to take another look at what it is and what we're supposed to be. I remember and because too much we've been programmed to think that wealth looks like things, or wealth for Black wealth is that it looks like materialism, because those multi-level marketing people always try to appeal to that level of us. And Afroeconomics, that's not what it's all about. I was looking at an article in my office today, and I try not to look at it. I don't like to like look at my TV interviews or anything like that. um, I remember when the book was released. Look, Mr. Jones see you, Miss Davis. That is so rude. It's just so rude. It's just rude. You just get on my nerve. I'm just get a girl. Wait till I see you. Just wait. I'm gonna give you various smacks and then followed up by hugs. But I'm just gonna be like pop, 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 pop first, and don't pull out none of your guns either. Exactly. She will come to me, try to smack me. You see this? It's AK. But and see how polite they are. We love one another. But I do think that it is important that I know that one of our members, he was speaking on his podcast, Mr. Johnson, last night, and he was saying um, that there are some things that he sees coming forward that we need to make sure that we're prepared for, and that we're not prepared for. And that's also like he's talking about from his training programs that he has. Yes. And then, but also from a financial perspective, you have more and more people from these huge banks coming out saying, the economy is, I'm slowing down drastically. They see it on the forefront. They see it coming. But I think that most importantly, that we as a people are the economic indicators. For the white community, they talk about what happened to us later after it happens to us. But we all have an advantage that we see the impact of economic changes on our community, and we just choose to ignore it because we're watching TV. And we're watching television, not on channels that are actually saying, like, hey, inflation is off the chain. Uh, Real estate is really slowing down. Uh, Real estate investors are losing money at alarming rates. But yet I still see people responding to more and more promotions, telling you that, you can flip this house and flip these houses and flip this house when if you were a member and you were communicating with an investment advisor like myself on the regular, we go over those types of things. And the reality is that there's a trend that real estate investors are actually losing money. They're losing money at the rates that they haven't seen since 2016. It says the glory days of real estate buying and flipping homes for quick profit seem to have hit a roadblock. Now, this is talking about people with money, not people who, when we say we want to flip houses, we going around trying to get baby and snay and mama to get involved. This is people with money. It appears that the investors are now losing at approximately 1 out of every 7 homes that they sell. Now, these are people that are coming in, buying up our community already, not paying you enough for it, and they losing money.
I get these calls all the time.
All the time trying to buy your house.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I tell them when they call here, I say, if I sell to you, then where in the world am I going?
That's right. Look, and then they say, oh, I got another property across town you can go.
Well, what they say, well, do you know of any other properties that are available? No, I don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have any friends? And you know what? A lot of times they do talk to people, but a lot of those people, that's what they get because they've been robbing people for a long time.
Long time.
This lady told me about this man. This black man had this house to sell, and the house was paid off. And he told her all he needed was $10,000 out of it. And the equity position in the house was $150,000.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I told him I'll see what I can do. See? Ain't no way I could sleep at night with that. But that's only the way that I've been programmed and the way that I'm regulated at a registered investment advisor, that I have to do things in my client's best interest. So if you're working with someone and that's not, if someone is selling the product, they're not working for you as an advisor.
But JB, did she lose all this equity that she had in the house?
The man had it in the house. Yeah, because all he wanted was 10 grand. He didn't know about the numbers. He didn't call and talk to me. He was talking to this person who was acting in the middle. Purely acting, because they were just a black face front for the white man that was buying the house.
So he let everything go. I mean, equity.
The black owner let all his equity go. As long as he got that 10 grand, he was good. Probably had to have it.
That's probably it. And didn't have time and needed that money right away.
Right now. The house was paid for. Uh-huh. And they said, and where you going to live now? And he said, I don't have nowhere to live. And had children with him.
Because otherwise, why would you make a decision like that?
And they moved,
with no plan.
Exactly. And he moved them
in your right mind
into an apartment that person, the backer owned also. So you done gone from equity to this. And then when they do meet me and I tell them the truth about what they did, they get mad at me. I'm not mad at the person that did it to them. That's what's so scary.
Okay, that's what I call going from sugar to shit. That's really what that is.
Right? Coming, what did they say? Jumping out of the pot to the kettle or something, I don't know.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah. I mean, he went right into the fire. That's so sad. And we do that over and over and over again. I was going to tell y'all about that article. I was going to look it up because I took a picture, I posted it. But Mr. Jones, he don't go on Facebook no more. He don't know what's wrong with him. Oh, you know, don't you know, Mr. Jones, that social media is the only connection that you have to the outside world. If you don't do that, then what do you do for information?
So I've heard. So I've heard.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. I don't know what you're going to do. So I put up there, well, this lady put together, I guess, out of the stuff that I talked to about, it was a Richmond Times Dispatch interview that they did on me in 2027. That's Richmond, California. I mean, Richmond, Virginia. So and it says JB Bryan's tips for success. And I said, do something you love, something you would do even if you weren't getting paid for doing it. And the next point was, do something you know you're good at. Commit to being the best and not just a player. And this was before I got into athletics. I had it in me right then. I had it in me, Cheryl. I was like, "Do it," and I wouldn't have known what to do because I ain't good at nothing. But then at that point, but one thing leads to another, and I committed. And then a third point is learn to live within or below your means. Now you know I'm always saying that. If we're living within or below our means, you're not going to have a credit card balance. Right there, it answers a lot of the concerns that we have. You can quit the job and walk off. People that quit the job and walk off when somebody make them mad, those are people that don't have credit cards. People that sit in the corner and are mad and hate their job and have a heart attack at their desk, that's people with a credit card balance. I met this lady after her husband passed, and she said, I had no idea he was under all that stress. She said, girl, he was switching one credit card to another credit card and this and that and other than the man had a massive heart attack trying to make sure he was hustling every day. Poor thing. And then never invest in anything that you don't understand. Too many people do that all day long, all day long. And the less they know about it, the more they want it. You know what I'm saying? That's really a mental illness. Well, here's all the information on this. Nah, I'm gonna do this one over here because I don't know anything about it. This one just started. What is that about? It's like hating the person that you know because they told you the truth, and then loving the person that's lying to you because they don't know nothing about you. That's so sad. Always operate from a place of integrity. And my final point was, if anything sounds too good to be true, it is. Damn it, it is. If it sounds too good to be true, trust your instincts. It is. Right? This guy told me one time, he said, oh, you seem so sweet. You seem so sweet. Oh, excuse me, you so sweet. You know what? And it still falls under that principle. In his dumb head, he thought I was too good to be true. And I'm not. I'm true. I'm real. I'm not too good to be true. So you know what I'm saying? That's such a sad thing, Mr. Jenkins, right? How you doing, Mr. Jenkins? Lord. But they just, are you making it up? You making it up in your head? But if you follow that principle with everything, you'd be all right. But don't get confused when you say some things are too good to be true, and they're not really. They're just human. There is not a human being that our human beings are real. Human beings are real. Things that are too good to be true are things that are made up. Fictitious investments, things that have never gone down, like that guy did. What's it, Bernie? He's dead now. 60 something, $5 million of scandal or something, like, took all the money, never had a down year. He's always up. Come on, y'all. Everything going down, but Bernie's going up.
Is this the one that killed himself?
Yeah, no, his son killed himself. He just died. I think he just died in prison. Though he might be alive. I don't know. But his son killed himself.
Bernie Madoff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, but nobody really, the government made us help pay those people back. They took tax money to pay the people back. That is ridiculous.
I
Because
think a lot.
everybody signed that said you can do whatsoever you want with my money.
I knew
All
somebody.
of my clients signed something that says I can't. It's just a little box. But I always say I do not have discretion over your account. But people will go and sign stuff that says they have discretion. I see it all the time.
Mhm.
I go, why'd you switch this for this one? The other one was going better. I don't know. They just did that. The computer does that. And they're paying for it. They're paying for the computer to do things they don't even understand. And they get mad. Because I am allowing them to stay and get the returns when it returns. But the computer is making you take the hits, taking the losses, switching you over, making the change, and we don't even know. We don't even question it. That's too good to be true. That the computer is perfect. That's too good to be true. It is too good to be true. If you have a human being focused, you will be better off. Key word there, though. Focus on you. Taking time for you. No, if you don't have a human being that's taking care of you, which includes yourself, then,
My old
you're not.
brokerage
Yeah.
account,
Uh
they
huh.
did a lot of drop ads and exchanges. And they would just send something to me through the mail. We've dropped this, we've added
They
that, we
had
dropped it.
discretion. Yeah.
But now, one of the things I did kind of figure out, took me a minute. So you have all of these mutual funds that your work plan is made up of.
Mm.
But if you look at the holdings of each fund,
Amen.
you go back to this other fund, some of those same companies are stuck right up in there. We got
That's right.
Microsoft,
That's right.
Tesla, whoever.
And they were doing funds and then doing the individual stock too. So
Yeah.
that, to
So
try to fake you out.
but go and look at the holdings, and all
You got
across,
it
the
already.
same company is popping up again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Over and over, over and over. And then they'll have 10 different growth funds, 5 different growth and income, 6 different, small cap, 17, and then the client is all impressed because they got 30, 20 different funds. But I'm like, no, because I'm willing to take the time to pick the best out of the 10. The computer has to spread their assets out over all of them because they need assets in all of them. Those are their funds. And we don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And then some of them give them kickback for getting your asset in them. You know
I
what I'm
can
saying? Oh,
believe
how much
that.
money? Yes. How much money? How many millions can you put in there? And the people that they have discretion over, you're getting in it. You're getting in it. So
But
then, they were going to make a, 5 cent. This new one says we'll give you 10 cents for every, whatever. You're doubling your money is a lot when you got a million accounts.
at my job, one of my jobs, some of the participants of the 401 are in target date funds.
Yeah.
They don't really know what they mean, but their 401k, everything is sitting buried inside of there. So they don't know,
What's in
even when
their
they open
target
it up.
date? That's
Yeah.
right.
And they don't know. They just say, well, I'm in the 401k.
Yep.
Okay, all of
Yep.
your stuff sitting
Yep.
in no. And who told somebody you're gonna retire in
That's right.
2029?
That's
It's
right.
supposed to be like based on that. They
That's
go
right.
based on your age,
That's right.
but it rebalances itself and all
That's
like that.
right.
So they say,
That's right. I
but
know what's in it. Everything they want to put assets in.
mhm.
That's what's in that target date. They getting paid. They do so well on getting us to say, I don't know what to do. And then the changes that are made in those, as you get closer to that date, people have no idea what's going on. So when I'm not to disclose too much because they need to become members, so
Mhm.
I can save you. And I can't give any specific advice to anyone because people take a little bit of the stuff we talking about
All right.
and then they run to the hills. Oh, well, JB Bryan said the deals aren't good. We ain't say that.
All right. Here's the other
We're
thing.
saying that if you get help for your specific needs, you'd be better off
Mm.
theoretically,
All right.
consistently.
Yeah, and 401k has said this in many, if Empower is the custody or Mass Mutual, whomever.
Mhm.
So you have your 401k, you pay $10 to somebody within Empower. You can call them up
Mhm.
and they will give you
Mhm.
advice
Mhm.
beyond
Mhm.
what your thinking is,
Mhm.
or your what you
Mhm.
believe to be good or what have you. We can help you with this. And it might be like $10 or $15 per month.
No, it's
Yeah.
a lot more than that because they put a fee on it too.
I think, well, the last time I heard about it, it was
Yeah.
$10. Now, this was several years ago.
Yeah, but they were confused. They charge a
And
fee. They charge a fee extra to have a registered investment advisory firm
mm,
and on their 401ks now. And people are paying it and they could be a member to get better help, one-on-one help. And they
mm.
do it, we do it. As we think, we think that machine is better. Definitely, it's got to be better than someone that looks like themselves.
The machine doesn't know
It don't
necessarily
know
if I
you.
have
Yeah,
1,000 children, no children, if my intent to do something is this or that. So
that's right.
the machine doesn't necessarily know that.
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
you have life changes.
That's right.
You may get married. You
That's
may
right.
get a divorce.
That's right. That's right.
You may move out. To another region of the
That's
country.
right.
The machine doesn't necessarily know
That's
that. So
right.
that's
That's
one of
right.
the big advantages I see. Yeah.
It's huge. There's nobody that has real money. The majority of people in white community that have real money only work with RIA firms, registered investment advisory firms like mine. Period. They're not going to work somebody that works for a product. They want to work for someone who has the responsibility and the legal responsibility to look out for their best interests, not the product. We're
Mhm.
so behind on that. We're just so behind. So the disadvantage of being ahead is that when you're black and forward thinking and looking out for the best interests of our people, we don't get it till the person is dead and gone. The majority of us, and then they go, "Oh wow." Like if you go back and you look at like Reverend Ike, look at his, commercials, just to use an analogy. But if you look at like his sermons, his discussions, what he was trying to say to us, what he was trying to do is the same thing that Joel Osteen does today. But because it was a black man with slick hair, they did everything they could to destroy him. And they don't do that to Joel Osteen. But Reverend Ike was trying to motivate us out of poverty. And we just would not receive it. I remember my mother, turn that off. I was a little girl, loved him. Like looking at you, like, turn that off, turn that off. Like, wow, this. I don't know what he saw, but this man is good. Are you motivating a little kids?
You know what? With Reverend Ike, I couldn't go past, and I would listen to my mom and some of the people. I'm a little girl at the time, but he was begging for money, the blessing plan, the prayer cloth.
That's right.
Send him some money.
That's what they all do now. I mean, look at, he was before all of the others. What does Joel do? Here's me and Victoria's new book. Live your life until it's love and love. Love and life in love. And then they come back to the sermon. Oh, you know, they just do it as a commercial now. Oh,
Mhm.
now we're going, did you see our new water fountain picture that you can get for your home? It's called the Fountain of Prayers. Go order the new Fountain of Prayers. Blah, blah, blah. Reverend Knight was way before that. He had videos. He had cassettes and all of that. Like, you know, now what we have? YouTube. That man was doing it. We just weren't comfortable with it. We weren't comfortable with seeing a black man make money, ask for money, say, I want money, I got money, look at me, I got money. You know, we were not comfortable with that. But yet the drug dealer could do it. He could ride all over the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And look rich, and everybody know, oh, they selling liquor out their house. Oh, they playing numbers. They so and so. But a man that loves the Lord and wants to tell us that we can do better, we just weren't ready for it. What's his name? TD Jakes, Creflo Dollar. You know, that none of them are as good as Reverend Ike was. None of them. I think Reverend Ike, you know what I'm saying, really, really had a message. I'm gonna play one of his videos right now. Sit back. I'm just joking. It would be funny. Would it be funny? Look at this. Oh, okay. Here we go. And I click. Y'all are like, she is playing it. But it was so, you know what I mean? He was so motivating, like just from like inspirational point of view. But at the same time, we like think that people shouldn't ask for money, but we think that everybody should always have money. Look, Miss Dixon said, Reverend Ike wrote some excellent books too, you know? Like, how in the world, it says, the word says, you know, seek and you shall find, ask, you know what I'm saying? And you'll get it. Like, these are key things that our community has been taught. Like you said, you were socialized to think that it's wrong to go around asking everybody for money, you know? But I started from the beginning, you know, going around the community, asking all those white folk. We were like one of the few black people in the community. And I asked all of them by my Girl Scout calendar. And that's when I learned about sales. Follow up, follow through, following it, you know, and I'm glad it was white people, because black people would have said, girl, if you come by my house one more time, I'm gonna whoop, you know what I'm saying? But the white people were like, wow, you are so good. You are so motivated. I'm gonna buy more. You know what I'm saying? That's the way we gotta be. When this kid is like, you know, I'm doing it. You told me come back. We have to feel like we have to keep our word.
But see, JB, that's not deceit. You know, that's not
No.
deceit.
Nothing in no. Reverend Knight wasn't deceitful. If he said buy a cassette, you got a cassette.
Shit.
He said buy my book, you got my book.
Mm-hmm. Let him come tell me to buy it. I got a sermon for his ass. No. Hell no.
Why? Why would you buy his
No.
book?
I wouldn't nothing. I wouldn't give nothing.
Why not?
Not one dime. Him and none of the other ones. You got people in your congregation that can barely pay their bills, and you working and playing on the weak-mindedness of people?
Nope.
Hell no.
Nope. But if the person
Mm-mm.
that is in there does what they said, he said, if they do what he said, because what he's saying is, I started as broke as you. I started broke just like you. That's what his point is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what I changed about myself so that why we're different right now. That's
And you
all he was saying.
became deceitful and a liar. Hell no.
But
Hell
where's
no.
the deceit? Where was the deceit in that?
But look, you got people again here can barely afford a loaf of bread.
But he's telling them what to do to get out of it. It's not, look, this is like me. If they come in every time, because to listen to his message is free. He telling you what to do for free. If you want to hear it over and over, you got to buy the cassette. I'm sorry, I can't come up here and talk every day. You know what I'm saying? But it was free. So all you have to do is turn on the TV. And do you know how much it costs to be on television? This man was on television across the whole country before any of them. Before Pat Robinson. But ain't nobody complaining about Pat Robinson making all that money off of. Pat Robinson got so rich. He got a television network. He got a school. He got, oh my goodness, his children's children will be okay. But I'm telling you, they have robbed us of the right to get wealthy and show others how to do it. The reason I'm not a problem is because they know I don't have any money. I don't have enough to be a threat. They know I work hard. They know that, you know what I mean? There's nothing going on over here. But if everybody black was getting in on this and taking advantage of someone who is actually loves you like I love them, do you know it would be a problem? It would be a problem. At only $30 a month, they would say, there's something wrong with that. She cannot do that. You can't be charging these people $30 a month. $30, that's $1 a day. Oh, you can't do that? You can't do that. They'll tear it up. They'll tear it up. Just like I'm telling you, because when we're doing the right thing and teaching our people to do the right thing and our people actually do it, it's a problem.
You can say what you want, okay? But hell no.
It's a problem. And the reason TD Jakes gets away with it, and Creflo Dollar gets away with it, and Joel Osteen gets away with it, the reason they get away with it is because they don't care about the people. They don't care. There's no follow through. I have to follow through. I have to be accountable. You know? That Peter Popoff, exactly. And it got some water. You know, that's fraudulent. See, but if somebody sell me a pair of earrings, and I want the earrings, and the earrings turn my ear green, it's not their fault. Because I wanted the pair of earrings. But if they tell me that they were solid gold earrings, and they weren't solid gold, then that's fraudulent. But the value, and this takes us all the way to today's discussion about real estate and about New York suing Trump about his real estate value, is that the value of something is based on supply and demand. People wanted his tapes. They wanted a piece of him. He was anointed. He had the message that they felt God had for them, and they wanted it recorded, and it cost money to record it. And you got to do that. And these things, that's a product, just like a shirt, just like a shoe, just like a book. You know what I'm saying? And just because I'm telling you, we should not feel guilty about telling people that they can get a piece of this. And that, you know, and if I were not feeling so guilty about that I have the right, if I knew I had the right, really knew I had the right to make money like anybody else, every time I come in here, I'd be like, here, get my book, just like all the other people do. Get the book, click, and they get off the air. But I come out and pour everything I know, all my degrees, everything I'm still studying, everything right out there. You know what I'm saying? And we are not accustomed with that kind of love. We feel that it's good, too good. It's just too good to be true. And it's not, because I don't have nothing because of it. If it was too good to be true, it would actually be good. And I'd be so rich that this would be heard everywhere. And it wouldn't have only 2,000 clicks. I'd have so much money. I'd have 1 million, 2.5, like the other people that ain't doing nothing. But I'm actually working. Got 1,000. They have 100,000 subscribers with a fraction of the videos. I got over 1,000 videos and on less than 3,000 subscribers. And that is because I don't think I have the right to be wealthy. That I don't think that I have the right to beg you to subscribe because I'm 30 years deep in this and I deserve to have 3,000 subscribers. Damn, at least it's free. You know what I'm saying? We're uncomfortable with that.
Okay, but you keep the integrity.
But and the book. I had to pay for all of these. I had to pay for the audiobook recording. Do our people go run and say, you know what I'm saying? This girl did this for us. This is all about us. But let a white guy, let Dave Ramsey come out with Black Wealth Matters, or be Leroy Jones backed by Dave Ramsey. Black Wealth Matters. We're going running with a sold out. They would have said, you're gonna have to wait for the new reprint, Negroes. And it wouldn't even be from one of them writing it. Jim Bob wrote it. We're gonna buy, eat it up. That's so sad. That is so sad. So no, I'm all with Reverend Knight. I'm just like, we need to have more enthusiasm about, we have to support all that is good. And no, look, ain't nobody gonna go broke by buying something that could actually help them, actually help their mind. All the money we waste in casinos and everything else, some of our kids, they don't even need to go to college, and they got $50,000 worth of debt. And what they really need is motivation and God. That's what they need. God, some serious motivation and a commitment to excellence.
All right. But JB, you keep that integrity.
You keep
that integrity. Don't lose that. Because you go out here and start selling BS. No.
But somebody thinks it's BS. Somebody thinks it's BS.
But it's not.
They care about us because I focus on us. Somebody's like, oh, that's BS. That's BS.
No, but no. Let me tell you why I would say it's not. All right, because I've learned a lot, education wise, as far as, finance goes. I've learned quite a bit from you. And then on top of that, I have seen my money grow when it sat in a brokerage account. The numbers didn't look like the numbers now. Now that I can speak to. I can speak to that. Clearly speak to that. You move some things around, and what I did have, it it just blossomed and bloomed exponentially, but it has.
But we're not even supposed to say that, like that, because I'm licensed, I can't say that. Like, I can't put testimonials on my website that say, she did this for me, she did that for me. I'd have them all over, because I've been doing this so long. There's people who could say, she helped me get my house. She helped me get my car. I couldn't have educated my children without her. I retired 20 years ago and I still got money because of her. I can't because I'm licensed. But these crazy people out here with zero license, people straight out of prison that need to be listening to me, got websites backed by other people who are coming right after Black money with chains and everything, saying, in prison, they learned to invest. They don't even care about making sure that they get to a firm and put them in. They don't care where they go do their business. They just got these cassettes and videos and stuff they just want our people to buy. Now, to me, that's fraud. They should not be allowing people without a securities license marketing directly. If they were marketing to white people, it wouldn't happen. The Securities Exchange Commission would shut them down. But us, they could go say that, hey, I was selling drugs for 20 years, and then I learned, I can flip some crack, I can flip some stocks. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Forget all the kids out here trying to go to college and trying to learn, and and they're going to be limited just like me because you're doing it legitimately. And the overwhelming majority of our community just goes to that, gravitates to that. A brother was telling me about a website he goes to, and it was like, yeah, I can relate to that because he grew up, in the projects. But my thing is, but you don't want that for your kids. So we have to graduate our thinking. Even the person, you can live in the projects, be from the projects, but that is not where stocks are traded. You need somebody with a connection to Wall Street. I have the connection. I have the license. I have the regulation. I'm paying the bill for that. They just coming in. They can say anything. They can do anything. The only reason those people got their money back is because Bernie Madoff was licensed. We don't deal with that type of person. We don't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get nothing for nothing when you sitting there listening and taking advice about what you gonna buy and what you gonna do with your future from somebody with no license, no regulatory body. That's just sad. You're not. It's just we're gonna continue to get that hit. We're gonna continue to get it until we graduate our thinking and pull them with us. You don't come out of prison and tell me what to do. I've been out here 30 years. You've been in there 30 years. I'm going to tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be more aggressive about that. Thank you so much, Mr. Bryant. Indeed. Thank you. We have to fight back. We have to fight back and not give up. Not give up. Our people need to have positive examples of people who did the right thing and it came out okay. If not, what are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, son, go ahead, do it, do that, and it'll be all right. No, they're not talking about the truth of it is 99% of the people who have to come back into society are struggling big time. The system is set up to not ever allow the person, a black man especially, that has gone to prison to ever get back on top. But we see these statistical anomalies, that these outliers, that they're allowed to make it because they're getting paid behind them. Keep clicking. Every time I see one of those websites, I just keep clicking, and then finally it lands somewhere else. Nothing. Nothing. We have to seek repentance. You know what I'm saying? Nothing good comes easy. So what I wanted to think about when I just touched on it for a second was about this situation with Donald Trump and the value of real estate. The value of real estate and New York, and I don't know if y'all have heard about it, but the state of New York has said that on his financial statements, he drastically overstated the value of his real estate. Did y'all hear about that? Had you heard about that?
Mm-hmm. I heard about that.
You heard about it there. And then, everybody's like really excited about it. But I'm just like, how many people do the exact same thing? You go to the bank, you're applying for a car loan or a house loan or whatever you think, what's the value of your house? You know what I'm talking about, Ms. Davis. What's the value of your car? What's the value of your so-and-so? And you putting down something more than, you don't even know. You
How much
don't
money
even
do you
really
make?
know.
Your annual income. That's a classic one right
you think
there.
some people lie about that?
Yeah.
And they're going to check? They won't check, like, if they lie about that, like, but when people go and like trying to get stuff, they really want to make their net worth look good. So what it happens is, if you exaggerate your assets, then your bills don't look that high. So you have these assets and you start saying, where my house is, worth, and you just put down numbers that you wish that you could sell your house for. But with this thing with Trump, it's, because the price of things is determined by supply and demand. So the reason that so many real estate people are losing money now is because the demand is down because interest rates are so high. Yeah, he overvalued his real estate, in the businesses, because that's all his businesses are. His business is made up of real estate properties. And she's speaking specifically of the real estate properties held in his LLCs in New York. And I like, it's like 2 or 3, like Trump this, Trump that, blah, blah, blah. The nonsense of it, the sisters should not approach this. I'm telling y'all, it's going to blow up in her face. The nonsensical part of it is that she's acting like Trump has no right to put a premium on his name. And this didn't go to a jury trial. This is how crazy it is. This is why so many black folk go to prison. This is why we need to look at what is happening. This don't have nothing to do with the judicial system. This is politics. They are tearing this man up. Do you know how many black people this has happened to? When they want you. Look at how they can go after you. This nonsensical stuff. Over the value of what he put on a balance sheet. She don't even have like some specific, like Citibank says that you lost their money and you fraudulently put this on your balance sheet. This so and so. She's just saying that these particular financial statements, which actually can hurt him and make him pay more money. Like if you overvalue your real estate, you are going to pay more taxes. And I just don't understand why everybody don't understand that. So if you put that down, he is affecting his estate, because that means he'll have to pay more estate taxes, because if he passes on those properties to his sons, you know what I'm saying? Then that's more taxes that they're going to have to pay to the government. Then if he says the value of these is that, and they're looking at this on his balance sheet when he sent it in, because they're even doing this to little people. You know, I had a client, and she was saying that now the city, she lived in Petersburg, and she's saying that the city of Petersburg, Virginia, is asking to see their financial statements. They want to see what you're saying it's worth so that they can actually increase their taxes that they're charging you. That's the point. So her argument for doing this to him is ridiculous to New York City, where the properties are located, because all they have to do is go after the money. Okay, so you're saying that it's worth $100 billion, so you're gonna pay taxes on $100 billion. That makes sense to y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Why in the world would you do it through the judicial system? Well, maybe she feels like that $225 million that they're going to charge him in a fine is better than what they would get for every year in New York City. I don't know. Because if he brings it down, it's going to hurt the city. If he brings it down, he just bring it down. Then he'd have a problem. They'd sue him because he was saying that it was too low. You don't want to pay your taxes. Then he have a tax fraud problem. I'm sure his legal team is going to come back and tear her up with that. Because if this works, they're going to be taking back the license for a whole bunch of property in New York. Yes, thank you, Mr. West. Exactly. Do you know how many other people's properties they are going to have to take their LLC license from? Because they're not trying to make themselves look broke. They're not going to do that. So they're presenting themselves as having money and the property having value. So then the city gets them for doing that by charging them more taxes on the property. So you don't win by overpricing the way she's thinking. Because the bulk of Trump's money doesn't come from a bank. He gets his from partnerships, from the people coming in bringing the money. So if a bank is a partner on a deal, that is not, That ain't the same as you loaning him money like we have to do. They ain't paying back no payments. They get their money from the income that the property generates. And I'm going to tell you, that Trump name brings value. So there's no way that she could try to value one of his real estate properties just off square footage the way that she's trying to do. So it makes her look like she has no business sense. The man's name is everything. It's a freaking Motel 6. You put Trump on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're going to pay more. That's the way it works. And anybody that wants to make an investment, they're going to invest in that Trump one because they've been doing hotels or apartments or whatever. That's what he does forever. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. He does not do that. He does partnerships. He gets money. He doesn't do a lot of bank loans. And when banks loan money, they do their own assessments. Banks don't get robbed. One of my first jobs out of college was to assess commercial businesses' balance sheets to approve them. Exactly, branding 101. To approve them for loans. So the bank don't care what you say on your financial statement. They're going to look it up. They're going to have their own assessors. They're going to say, ain't no bank. That's why she don't have no bank with her on this. No. A bank is not going to put them off like we're so dumb that we believed what he said. They did it based on what they knew. What they knew they could generate an income from that deal. Oh, I'm going. Don't we wish the banks believed whatever we said? Are you talking about billion-dollar deals and they think that the bank? No, this is politics. This is why we are over-criminalized. This is why we are over-criminalized. And that is the lesson to us. The lesson to us as Black people is that the game will always change on you. And we don't want to believe stuff like Bill Cosby went to jail because Bill Cosby had already settled that lawsuit. He had already paid out on that. It was not supposed to ever come up again. And the brother went because he was trying to do something someone didn't want him to do. I saw this brother last week, the guy with Black BET that gave his wife half of his money was on CBS. That's just to tore him up. Now, this man that sold BET is the same man that came out publicly and said that the United States owes us like $160 billion to Black communities for reparations. Do you not think that they were not the same people that told her to come out with a book blasting this man?
Bob Johnson.
A year later,
Bob Johnson.
she tore him up on national TV, and Gail got on it with him. Gail said, "Sir, he's Peter, chump pump, cheater, pumpkin eater, huh? He was even sleeping with women at work, huh? What in the world? How in the world can you go on TV and speak poorly about somebody that made you a multimillionaire? I just can't do it. I'm not giving them that." She gave it to him. For a book? A book? Nobody makes money off books. There's more to it. Y'all better know there's more to it. A white people will tell you don't make money off books. They don't want us to have reparations, and we don't get the politics of what is going down to tear down the Black man historically. Goes all the way back to Jesus. He had a nappy head Black man. Nappy head black man. Who did we get? And then we say, oh, it has nothing to do with it. It's not like that. It's not like that. Well, we better wake up. We better wake up. We better wake up. We better wake up and stop being used as tools to tear down one another. Lord. But I wanted us to be aware about the changes in the real estate market. I wanted us to be aware that how things can come out on you. I was reading an article today, about a nonprofit that was doing business, and the two brothers are arguing back and forth because they charged some city taxes, and it's really bad. There's something going on in Richmond, and he was saying that he was a nonprofit, and then they were saying, no, you weren't a nonprofit. You came to us as a person. And I know that that's going to be an issue. But now it's become public. It was in the paper, and they even put clicks in about downloading. Those type of things we should be able to settle on our own. We shouldn't be having to go to court about everything. Them guys have been working together for years. Military Retirees Club, and then a nonprofit that's doing great things in the community. They've been working together for years, and then now, yeah, you saw that. Like we don't. Do you know what I mean? They should not have to go through that. They should not have to go through that. We need to learn to settle things on our own. We got to start. And I feel like a lot of Black people in New York are being used, just like Bob Johnson's ex-wife. She's being used. We get used to tear down each other. I see a lot of things that I could do to help our people, and the people do not allow me to come in. Our people keep our people away from me. It's sad. But bring in somebody Black from the credit union or something, But it is sad what we do to ourselves. So I want to tell y'all that I rode the bus twice this week. I rode this city bus, and the first day was yesterday. I did 17,000 steps. 17,000 steps in one day. I want to challenge everybody that's listening. If you want to change your health and you want to change your wealth, stop wasting money in these cars. Stop wasting money in vehicles. It is not wealth development. If you live like I live on the bus line, and my house is on this end of the bus, right, and then about 3 or 4 stops up the street, there's my office. But I got to walk a half a mile to get to the bus stop, and I walk a half a mile to get back to the office. But that is my health. That is my health. I never even knew from the street to my office that it was all uphill. Didn't even know, because the car, you just driving. You just driving. We need that hill. We need that hill. I'm telling y'all, before Christmas, you're going to see a difference in me. Because I'm like, I want to cut 20 more pounds. That we can change our health. We have too many people in our community that are sick. They're sick because we're not moving enough. We're sitting down too much. Yes. And then exactly, Miss Davis, she said you took the bus too to go to the rally in Atlanta. That's right. That's right.
The bus and the train. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I love
I
it.
didn't drive yesterday at all.
There you go. Tell me I inspired you. Tell me
You did. You have.
So
I mean,
good.
I could have actually driven downtown to the rally.
It's right.
But I said, $250 going, $250 coming back. That's $5.
And it's a blessing when you have it and you ain't spend it. You know what I'm saying? I just walked up to FedEx, drop off a shipment for the client. I mean, you start really seeing how many resources you have right there in your community. Coming back, dropped me off the bus, went by the vitamin shop, walked home. Sat down on a rock. I didn't know that big rock was there in my community. It's a huge rock. That's my new meditation rock. I mean, it is big. I don't know where they got that rock from. Never noticed that rock driving. Got a huge rock. I'm gonna take a picture for y'all one day on that huge rock. But I'm telling you, between then today, I got like 13,000 steps. So we can, if they shut down. Look, if they going into the shutdown topic, if the government, shuts down, and you're in DC, thank God, like the federal government doesn't handle transportation, I don't think, but it will impact like air travel, definitely, like TSA. You're gonna feel it in DC, Mr. Jones, a lot when they shut it down. Like you're gonna be able to ride your bike all day long.
JB, this would not be my first shutdown experience. I mean, we used to this.
You get mad when they come back to work, right? You're like,
I'm like,
Lord.
I didn't even know y'all was gone.
Well, good for you. But you know what? Nobody really goes into work anyway. Everybody's like most people, even my suite in DC, everybody hasn't come back. Everybody hasn't come back. It's still on the empty. That's scary. It's really scary because the COVID, like we still have to work on shaking it
But
completely.
JB, you know what I really noticed in downtown DC? A lot of the retail stores are gone. It's like a retail desert down there now. It's like a retail desert.
That's a message to us.
I know.
That's a message to us. And I know people that are still opening up retail. And I pray for their best. I pray for their best, but it is going to be hard. It is going to be hard because, I keep my office open because I'm required to have an office, so, it can still be at my home, but I don't want my home as a public address. But I have to have it. But a lot of people, you can do everything on the internet. You don't have to do that. Yes.
Weren't they threatening a shutdown here like about 4 months ago or something, and it didn't take place? Don't I hear this at least every other year or so?
That's what I'm gonna say. Just sick if they wait till like Saturday and then they extend it. I just think it's kind of ignorant. Like, just do it. But there's literally impossible for them to do everything. So they either have to, like, Biden go ahead and say it's extended till January 1 or something, or because I don't see, with these election years, they're all showing off. You just see that guy, like Mitch, today, like the interview they did. Well, I mean, when he was talking, he really hurts me. He hurts me to see him. Like, everything he says is very belabored. Like the one that gets into, like, he forgets where he is. That's really sad.
Who is it? Is that Mitch McConnell?
Yeah. How is this happening? Why are we doing that? Because if he was in corporate America, that man would not be up there.
They're trying to hang on to him because he's a Republican, and in the state of Kentucky, the governor, I think I got this right, is a Democrat. So if something happens and they replace him, they're losing. I think they will lose. The Democrats will gain 2 votes, and they will lose his vote on the Republican side. It's got something to do with that. But the governor of Kentucky is a Democrat. If he comes away, Mitch McConnell, who has to step down, they, of course, 9 times out of 10 will replace him with someone that's Democratic. And then
let that man die. That man gonna die.
That's why they won't move him out.
He need to be sitting on that rock. He need to be sitting on the rock with me.
That's why.
You know what I'm saying? He need to be. That's too much. Goodness great. He don't even need to get on the bus. He don't need to walk. He just needs to sit on the rock. Sit on that rock and pray that God take him home. That, because he's done enough. He's done enough. That's too much.
The problem is they don't want to let go of that power in that position. It's hard for them to let it go, and that's whether you're a Democrat
that's what I think it's more about. Is that
it's about the power.
His ego. Because if he was concerned about the people, he would be having somebody else lined up. He'd be saying, I want Jim Bob here. He's a great guy. He's gonna take over, and da da da, and this and that. That's what I said. Use your power effectively to help somebody. But no, you're gonna sit there because you have to do it. No, Lord,
Mhm.
take a sick day. Take sick day. Jim Bob's gonna take me, but I'm just going to check on this concussion. Something like golly, that's so sad. Like it's just so selfish. Mm,
Yeah,
mm, mm.
that's why they're keeping him propped up with crutches and toothpicks and stuff.
Look, I was telling Tamara about how sore I was, and she said, "Girl, Tamara's Epsom salt." And you know what? All of the stuff that I do and something, but those 17,000 steps, boy. And then she said Epsom. I said, "Girl, I was all in it. I was in it. I'm going back in it for more today." That Epsom salt is no joke. And they but with we have to think like how is it going to impact you specifically? And I do think it's a major point that if you have some travel coming up like next week, you need to be conscious of like the people there working might be in a bad mood because they still have to work, but they have to, they don't have to be nice to you. But I don't think that they should be worried about getting paid because you're gonna get paid. Like within 2 weeks, they can settle that. By the time they have payday, they are going to settle the matter, even if they show down. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, right. Someone's saying, and I don't know who it is, but he said that RGB was selfish also. Because she wouldn't retire from the Supreme Court. It's so true. Because that was during Obama, right? Like, and he could have chose somebody else. She was like, "I'm never going to die," even though they told me any day now I'm not going to die. Like, and I bet that could really, be hard. Maybe that's why I'm self-employed. You don't have to ever die. Like, it's like there's an incentive to stay alive when you're self-employed. Like, but you got to move out the way when you're a public servant and you can't do your job.
But somebody up there just posted that they should have term limits. They all should have term limits.
Yeah.
The appointed judges should not be lifetime position. Your
Mhm.
elected
Isn't that
officials,
crazy?
it's
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy? That's
Oh
crazy.
yes,
With the
yes.
with the with the, with a judge with no term limits, like that's why that guy in New York is doing this crazy stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, get him, and you don't need a jury. You just get it. Let's just take him to civil trial. Let's get him in civil court. Like, and we just but when they know they're gonna be able to keep their job, they're gonna do different things. You got it, especially in something that's salary position. At least when you have your own business, you if you work, you have to work to get and eat. So no matter what, if you're doing it at 90, you still got to produce. It's not going to just ever come, just come. But these people, all they got to do is stay alive and breathe, and they can do anything. That is so dangerous. That is so dangerous.
And then you add to that, right? They're appointed to these positions, and who are they obligated to? The people who backed them for that appointment. So the lobbyists,
Yep,
your golf buddies, whoever your children go to school with. Oh,
that's right.
they all brothers and
Yes,
sisters from the same
yes,
lodge.
yes,
Yes.
yes. That nepotism and that legacy, those advantages that we don't have. That's what Bob Johnson was saying about, reparations. And then now they're talking about with the HBCUs not getting the funding that they were promised. Like it's not the fact of you calculating up the money and this is how much money you should have gotten and even with Bob Johnson's with the reparations and the, 160 million and everything, like it does not take away the compounding effect. If we all were born with our family having the assets they should have had, we would be in a different place. We would be in a different place. We would have a different mindset. People would view us differently. Because it would be we held them accountable. They got like it's hard for people to respect us because we never got what we were owed. When you get what you like one day I was at this event and this guy owed me $3,000 because he said, I need some insurance for my business. You tell them I'm coming. I bound his coverage. He had a security company. I bound his coverage, and then he never came to my office to bring me that check. So I was out of $3,000. So I see one day, years later, I see him at a concert publicly. He comes at me, arms open. I said, brother, you better not touch me. Don't touch me. Don't put not one hand on me. Don't come anywhere near me. He's like, oh, don't be like that. I said, nah, brother, you owe me money. And that's the way we should be at them. The United States government should be addressed with that. Don't come at me hugging me, half stepping me, arms out. Like, you know what I mean? Shut up. You better shut up. Give me my money. But we don't, because we've been taught to shut up and take it. So how do you respect? I haven't seen that brother, but every time he sees me, he knows I better not touch her when I see her. And I better not, you know what I'm saying? And she still knows I owe you money. He thought, because if I had let him hug me, he would have said, well, damn, she's stupid. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to like me, but you're going to respect me. You're going to respect me. There's a thing, we don't demand. Exactly. I should have choked him. But it was armed security, so. Exactly. And I didn't know weeder then. I would have gone to exactly call my peeps. Look, get it exactly. Get the big one. Get the big one, weeder. Because he looks like he's going to take a lot.
This one just sits up here by me.
Exactly. We just gonna have a code word so they won't be talking about it. That is just code word. They'll be like, why you call her? You call her? I said, no, I just told her chocolate. So what she say when she called you, Ms. Davis? She said chocolate. I didn't know what she thought. I don't know. I have not been out of Atlanta. That guy better be glad. Exactly. But it's like, but we need to have that, and that's what Dodd Johnson came with, you know what I'm saying? And we did not even embrace him completely, on that. He was saying, thank you to my people. You know how much he risked, how much they sacrificed, him and his wife, for Black enterprise, and that to come out with something that was the first Black network that focused on Black people, that's something. And then when he said we deserve these reparations, if we could get every successful Black person to say that Black people are deserved reparations, descendants of slaves are worthy of reparations.
For me, JB, BET was like the equivalent of Motown.
That's right. And just Motown on a whole extended level, Mm-hmm. And then we didn't talk a lot about, he built this thing and then he sold it. Yes. ADOS. Didn't say, I think it's how you say ADOS. A descendant of slave. That's what we are. I know I am. This girl wrote an article called what's his name? Rape colored skin. Rape colored skin. She was talking about why we're light skinned. And that we are, my skin color represents the war and what happened. I don't have any white people, this is my true color. That's white. That. I don't know anybody white. That's from being a descendant of a slave that was taken advantage of, raped. right colored skin. And we want to think like they do with Thomas Jefferson, that this lady who was his slave, was his woman and they were in love. And that's sick. That's just sick. If I had to go to court now, if they had to go to court now, they were like, look, Mr. Jefferson, you were not in love. You owned that woman. You owned her. And now they have a monument up there of her, and it's a monument of rape. But we want to think, oh, they were in love. And that's something. But if that was a black man who had his wife and his mistress in the same house, they'd be calling him the scum of the earth. Isn't that something? Thomas had him right there. Thomas Jefferson had him right there at my university. Bo. And now we like embracing it. And her descendants, I mean, she in heaven like, y'all have lost your mind. Y'all have lost your mind. I couldn't stand him. The man stunk. He stunk. Rape me. Isn't that something? But they think it's some sort of love story. It's stuff we don't get away with. So we're headed to a shutdown, and I think that this becomes one of those times that everything that I've talked about, like those rules of success, where I was saying living below your means, it really pays off. If people are working for an agency in the government and they're saying we want you to go to work, but you're not going to get paid, hey, be okay with that. That's money that they're putting away because what? You have an emergency fund, right? Right? You're not going to be in line filing for food stamps, because you don't have enough if they don't, if you miss another paycheck. But I think one time they missed like 2 paychecks and they have people like, I'm not going to pay my cell phone bill. I'm not going to pay, I mean, literally. That's why we don't have enough Black entrepreneurs. If y'all knew how many times I have to go without a paycheck and then make sure everybody else gets paid. That's entrepreneurship. That's investing in a business. You know what I'm saying? It's what it takes. And when we get in and they realize that, that's why we close them down and go back and get a job. Oh, American descendants of slavery. That makes sense. Thank you. And let the government workers strike. I know that's right. That's a very good point. They said if you support the union strike, then the workers in the government should strike. It's so true, especially the Black workers in the government, because they're really having a hard time right now. And when they talk about government cuts and cutting out government, they're talking about cutting jobs to Black folk. And we need to really know that. Because that's a major employer. The federal government is a major employer of the upper income Black person. We got to get our muscle up. We got to get our muscle up, our mind muscle up. We got to be ready. We got to be ready to get in, the trenches. Do you know 5 people that if things got really, really rough, that you want to make sure they're on your team? And see, that's the thing I love about AfroEconomics, because that's what we're always doing, bringing each other up, because we're preparing for each day. Each day. Surround yourself with people who don't care about what you look like, but care about what you really are. They don't know what your heart, how much heart you got. I remember my daughter's father, he said to me one time, biggest compliment he ever gave me. He left me. I was down and out. I didn't give up. I was really struggling. And he said, one thing I got to say is you got a lot of heart. And that's the truth.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, this woman, I've done everything I could to pull her self-esteem, and she is still going. That's where you want to be.
Mhm.
That's where you want to be. And then they'll leave you alone. You know? That's the way. That's just the stuff. I don't know what it is, but it's a big thing about human nature. And a lot of times that happens at work. And we're folding and we can't. We gotta muscle up that heart, muscle up that mind. The mind, the mind, the mind. It says you will be transformed by the renewing of your mind. They close that bar, they close the government. It's already hurting the stock market. How it
Yes.
hurting the stock market? I already know. Some people can't take it. My clients can take it because they're prepped for that, because I'm always talking to them. People who never talk to their advisor and their advisor is hiding from them when they need them the most, you get what you deserve because you're settling for that behavior. And we let them do that to you. You let it happen. It's like a bad relationship. They let them happen. So,
Because remember, I text
right.
you and I said, the market, what's going on with the market? And then you
Yeah.
said, and the
Probably they shut down.
probability is it's a shutdown. I said, I just wanted to be sure it wasn't you doing it,
Exactly.
because I was coming for your liver. That
Some of that stuff, exactly. Some of that stuff you talk about.
yeah. So,
You know, bond rates are up. Bond rates go up, keep going up. That means the value of bonds go down, y'all. You know? So with them anticipating saying that in November they might raise interest rates again, the government might close down and all this stuff, it's woo. Mm. So when you hear like tighter monetary policy type words, lingo, they're saying that rates are going to continue to go up. Come on. We got to, who's that benefit? It benefits the saver. But if you got debt, it's going to get your butt. It's going to get your butt. Yes, indeed. You got that money, you know what I mean? You're going to get paid. Even the stock investor, because they're constantly reinvesting their dividends, you're buying more at cheap prices. So a down market benefits the stock investor too. Only the strong survive. You just got to assess, make sure you're where you should be, make sure we do risk analysis on the regular. If you don't have help, get help. Consider joining AfroEconomics. I have a free membership also. You want 101 meetings? You upgrade. It's still the best thing that you can do for yourself, in my opinion. You deserve it. I spend more in a week on my health than it costs for membership almost all year.
I'm going to keep saying this, but we need to have some money set aside in dollar bills, because if something really happens,
Get that
we can
cash, right?
negotiate with single dollar. I look, and I just tell you, look, I only got $2.
Mm.
Okay, it costs 10.
Right.
Look, I only got 2. It's sitting up there about to rot.
Right.
Let me have it.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. No, keep your cash, keep your emergency fund, have an emergency fund at home. And Ms. Davis is saying keep it in ones.
Yeah.
I,
You're gonna
I,
keep it in
I,
one.
I say just keep it. Keep it.
Well,
I have a question.
You better have some ones though. Yeah.
Ms. Davis,
yes.
where'd you get all them singles from?
She
Well,
dancing,
okay. So
Magic City. You know she
yeah.
from Atlanta, girl.
So Mr. Jones, I have a
She
night job.
at Magic City. She be doing she be doing the master's class.
Well, I dance under the name Silver Fox.
Silver Fox class. Look. They start at 10 a.m. Them other girls be going to bed. We start because I'm with her too. We start at 10 a.m. But the ones come to say, right? Exactly. Look, exactly. So you get that retirement crowd.
Oh, hold on.
You ain't got to worry about the cash app. Look, the night crowd, they got the cash app. They be like, girl, you look good. You got cash app? She like, look, you better go get some cash. Lord.
Yeah.
Stop playing, Miss Davis. You, girl. All you got to do is go on stage like that.
This was from a weeknight, from just a bad night. Okay.
Dollar bill, y'all. Next to money. That's the old lady approach. Look,
JB,
we just pull our money out.
JB, Silver Fox ain't never had a bad night. Fuck
She just pull the money out. She said, love y'all. I got some of them young girls ain't got. She pull that money out.
Oh God.
They ain't got this. They ain't got this. And Tony Bryan said, y'all are hilarious. Exactly. Exactly. They're like, whoa, Atlanta ain't never seen it.
That's right.
Exactly. The way we do it. Well, I love y'all. And make sure on Friday, we're going to continue to keep an eye on this. We got our members only meeting Friday morning. So we covered a lot of important stuff, tonight. And most importantly, let's all go back and look at some Reverend Ike videos.
I tell you what, bring that up with Chris Williams. I want Chris Williams to be on the call. Bring that up then. I'd love to hear what her perspective is.
I don't.
I do.
But it would be surprised though. Wouldn't it be something that Chris said, oh, I love Reverend Ike. You never know. I'm going to see.
Chris, I thought you were on my side. Come on.
You see, on Friday, I'm going to feature my favorite Reverend Ike video.
Mr. Jones, set your clock now.
Look, it's gonna be called. Look, it's gonna be called Money Don't Lie. Wouldn't it be funny though if it was? Numbers don't lie. Count the money, and I'm not ashamed, honey. I got my money. He's the best. I love y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. Take care. American descendants of slavery. That's us. That's right. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Night, JB. Love you too.
Love you more than that. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye. I'm going to put my email in here just so it's up there. Good night. Good night, Mr. Moses Jenkins. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. Aw. I love you the most. Exactly. Bonita, I see you. Good night, Mrs. Muhammad. Good night. That's so good.